All right, why don't we go ahead and get started? This should be a very short presentation. I'm just going to go over the alumni resources that are available to you. It looks like it's just you and me right now, unless somebody else wants to join us. But are you graduating this semester? Okay, great. Well, I'm going to go over the alumni resources available to you for when you actually for when you graduate, and I'm going to go over as well the ones that are going to be available to you when all the campuses reopen. A lot of them are closed now or at a limited capacity. So when the campuses reopen, you're going to have a lot more resources available to you. So I'm going to go over what's going to happen in the future. Okay. So okay, great. So hi, my name is Shayna Berland. I'm the Miami Campus Librarian, and today we're going to be going over your alumni resources that are available to you. All right. All right, looks like we're getting some more people. So hi, everyone. So again, my name is Shayna. Just let me know if you have any questions. You can put them in the chat. Right now, we're going to get started. Okay, so first of all, I want to say congratulations, whether you're still on your journey to become an alumni member or you're at the end where you're graduating. Congratulations, you did great. I'm proud of you. You worked so hard to get here. So keep up the great work. You're doing great. Okay, so alumni resources. For our online resources, you still have, after you graduate, you'll have the interlibrary loan service still available to you. That's forever too. So like, let's say 40 years from now, right? You want to contact us and you're looking for an article and you can't find it and you need help, you can still contact us to look for it for you. So that's forever. So, in your 60s, you can contact us and say, hey guys, I need your help finding this thing, and we'll still help you for free, okay? If we need to charge you, we'll let you know. Usually we don't, but if it's something really, really rare and hard to find, then we might have to end up letting you know what the fee is, and then you'll decide what you want to do or not, and we'll give you options, okay? Reference help, we still provide reference help through the email address, library@usa.edu, or through the chat services. So that is forever. So like, let's say you are researching and there's this like disease that you remember from a long time ago that you remember seeing in our databases, or an article you remember seeing, and you can't quite remember it and you need help or anything, you can contact us and we'll help research it for you and help you out with that. That's forever. So you can still email us, you can still chat with us. You can ask us questions like, hey, can I still use the library, stuff like that. That's forever. Okay, and then here is where in the future, what we're going to be doing. So the physical library spaces are closed right now, so I apologize for that. But right now it's due to the pandemic, and then we're going to reopen for limited resources in the fall. But in the future, usually pre-pandemic, what we did was we had our physical spaces available to our alumni. So like, let's say you're on our, visiting, you graduate from the Miami campus, like let's just say, and then you're visiting our California campus and you want to go visit and see the physical space. You can do that. You can sign in at the front and you can just walk into the library space and you can just relax. You can view our physical materials such as our books, see what new books we got, see our bow models and stuff like that. You can't take them home because again, it's been years since we've seen you. Who knows what you're up to now? We don't have a way to track any of where materials are going. So because of that, you can't take them home, but you can scan them for free in the library. So you can scan any of our books for free and stuff like that. That's pre-pandemic. Yeah, it's pre-pandemic and then it's going to be post-pandemic. That's what it's going to be. So you can scan for free in the library. Printing and photocopying fees will still apply, but they're usually cheaper. Like I just made copies at FedEx and it was like, I think 20 cents a copy. And then we charge 10 cents a copy. So that's the difference. So, it really depends on, how everything works out. But again, that's forever. So like, let's say we eventually get a campus in Hawaii or something. You're visiting Hawaii, you just want to go relax somewhere, or like for a work trip and you just want to go relax. You have our spaces in case you need. Okay. Any questions on this? Great. And again, that's pre-pandemic and post-pandemic. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be reopening. This is what our alumni had access to, and so that means what's going to happen to you guys. Okay. Okay, so our interlibrary loan. Interlibrary loan service means that there are items borrowed from other libraries. So let's say that you need access to like a dissertation or thesis or an article, and you don't have access to it. You can contact us and we'll send you a copy. If you have any issues or anything like that, let us know. Usually interlibrary loans take 1 to 3 days typically. During the break, it might take a little bit longer, or if it's extremely rare, it might take longer. Like let's say that you like want to request something that was published in like the 1940s. A lot of those records were lost, so sometimes we don't have access to those records. Or let's say you want a ghost article, is what we call ghost articles, where they were going to be published in a journal, and then the author changed their mind and then said no, and they removed it. So now nobody has access to it. So now it shows, like the abstract shows that it was published, but that was just the preparation. It's still out there, but even though the article was never published. So if something like that happens, that means that we can't get access to it. We'll email you and say, hey, this is what happened. This is what we think happened. Sorry about that. We'll let you know. But otherwise, typically, when we request articles or dissertations or theses or something like that, it takes between 1 to 3 days to get it. For alumni, we cannot request books because it goes against our copyright law. The copyright law is decided by the federal government, and they decide what we can have access to and what we can't as a library. So unfortunately, we can't access books, but we can't access DVDs or movies, but we can access articles and dissertations or theses, or book chapters. So if you want to request book chapters, that's completely fine. And articles, dissertations, or theses. Okay. And again, it's free, and we'll let you know if there's like an issue or anything like that. Okay. Any questions on this? Okay, great. And you guys can hear me okay, right? I just realized the microphone was like right behind the laptop. I apologize. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, great. So the next thing is that a lot of articles are available for free online. So they're called open access, which just means that they're available for free to anybody who wants them online. They're usually available as author manuscripts. Author manuscripts are the published version that has gone through the peer-reviewed process and they just haven't been published yet. Like let's say that you create an article, right? And you sent it into the peer review process, and it came back to you, and you're like, "Oh, great! This is my author manuscript with the approval process, and now I'm all set to publish." So you start sending it out to get published, and then maybe you decide to make it available for free online because you can do that. So you make it available for free online while you're still sending it out to be published by a journal. That's that happens often. So a lot of times author manuscripts are available for free online. The difference between the author manuscript and the published version would be formatting. So you know how a lot of journals, they have everything formatted a certain way to fit into their journal, where it's like, 2 rows or something like that of paragraphs, or it has like a weird formatting change or something like that. That's because of the journal. So the journal, the publisher, decides how that's published. So the only difference between author manuscript and the publication would be formatting changes to make it fit into the journal so that it's consistent. So usually it's going to be the exact same, it's just formatted different. Okay, so that's why author manuscripts are also a great option in case you find author manuscripts. They've already gone through the peer review process. They just haven't been published yet. Okay. All right, and these are free databases, and I can send this to you guys afterwards. Just let me know. I can actually send you my presentation afterwards. That's not a problem. And so these are just free databases that are available online. And these are, you can see some common ones like the Cochrane Library of Systematic Reviews is on here. Clinical Trials database that's free. The ERIC database is also free. PubMed, of course, is a free medical database that is available. A lot of great resources available. and these have links. So I'm going to send this to you afterwards. Just send me your email, and if you could just put it into the chat, either privately to me or to everybody. It just I'm going to save the chat, and I'm going to send it to you guys afterwards. That's not a problem. Okay. All right. Any questions on these free databases? Okay, great. So PubMed is a free medical database. Remember when you're doing a search on there, that instead of having access to our university, so you know, the bad thing about like what we're trying to do now is we're trying to still get you guys access to our online databases, but once you graduate, you get cut off from our online databases. You get access to literally everything else. You just don't have access to our online databases. The reason for that is because um, we are under contract by all the publishers who give us access to their databases and stuff that says we do not give access to our alumni. So because of that, we actually get cut off. So it doesn't make sense to you know, pay right now to give our alumni access, because it would be an additional double the amount that we're paying now. But in the future, we're hoping to have an alumni, you know, their own section. So we're working on that now to try and like negotiate with publishers and stuff like that to get that. So we're working on it. But in the meantime, you have access to a ton of free stuff that's available online. And again, if you can't find it online and you need help, you can always request it through us, through the interlibrary loan system, or reference help. That's not a big deal. And again, you could just select the free full text links and just go to all of our free stuff that's available online. It's a ton of information. And if you don't find access to something, or you don't have access to the full thing, you can always request it to us for free. So you guys should be okay. Just let us know if you have any problems, okay? But in the future, we're right now working on an entire section just for alumni. So it's going to be super cool if we can work it out. But again, we are under copyright law, so we have to negotiate with the law to like try to get to work. Otherwise, we make it available for you guys as soon as we can, okay? All right, evidence-based practice tools. There are a ton of them available for free. Right now, we're advertising the QXMD, the Read by QXMD, but there are a ton of them, including Rehab Plus and a lot of stuff. This is even, you know, there's a ton of stuff available online. It's just that these are the ones we're recommending just because we use this so often. That's what we're recommending. But I'm going to send this to you guys afterwards. I have your email, so I'm going to send it to you, okay, as soon as we finish. All right, third-party research websites. A lot of times, you know, websites will develop a bunch of research articles for free, like the peer-reviewed articles and stuff like that, or additional resources like newspaper articles and fun stuff like that. I chose the ones that are peer-reviewed, and there are literally over 200 websites to choose from for research websites that accumulate a bunch of articles. These are the ones I use the most personally that I look through. Like, let's say somebody requests something through interlibrary loan and we don't have access to it. It's probably available for free. That's why we didn't pay for it, right? Why would you pay for something that's available for free online? So I would go to one of these websites. I would usually start with ResearchGate and then work my way down and then see where it is, you know? The reason I start with ResearchGate is because you can sign up for free as a researcher, and then you don't have to sign up if you don't want to. It's just I did because I have access to all of the authors who publish their works, so then I can email the author if they don't have access to it and say, hey, can I get a copy of your work? And then see what they say. You can also email author, sign up for free yourself and as a researcher, and email authors of works and say, hey, why did you go with this research? Why didn't you go with this? Or do you think this is going to be important in the future? Do you think we should, you know, pursue this kind of like research? So there's a lot of options there. But that's the nice thing with ResearchGate, which is why I usually use them. I also use Semantic Scholar a lot. I don't use Google Scholar very often just because they don't have as many peer-reviewed articles, but you can. You do some research on there. One of my favorites is the DOAJ, the Directory of Open Access Journals, because they have a lot of, if you request an article that is in another language, sometimes I'll find it available for free there online because they have a ton of articles in different languages. Um, so anyway, I can send this to you guys afterwards. This is the stuff I use to look up articles and stuff. This is a great there are a lot of great resources available online. These are mostly peer reviewed except for Google Scholar. They only have they have a couple of peer reviewed articles. They just don't have all of them, and they don't sort them, which drives me nuts. But you know, again, they have a ton of stuff available online for free. Okay. Now, I'm also recommending the professional memberships. So if you could become a paying member for professional organizations such as the APTA, the American Physical Therapy Association, or the sorry, the AOTA, the American Occupational Therapy Association. They have access to a lot of great journals, a lot of new information that's available to you guys from when you guys new information on your career services, any issues, like you'll find out who's suing who and why, you know, what the different opinions are on each side and stuff like that. You know, a lot of great information. They also have they also provide discounts on things, like they'll provide discounts on their conferences, discounts on tools and stuff that you can purchase through them, like the newest stethoscope that just came out that has this new thing, you know, kind of thing. So it's pretty cool. So the AOTA and for occupational therapy and the APTA for the physical therapy are great professional memberships. And a lot of times you can get them paid for through your employer. Because remember, you're employed as a physical therapist or occupational therapist, then you're going to need this to do your work, right? You're going to need access to this stuff. So plus it makes your employer look good because they're thinking, oh, I have this person who's part of this professional or membership organization, you know, I can advertise that in all my work. So that looks amazing. So usually they'll provide like a stipend or reimbursement for your expenses. Like I'm an ALA member, American Library Association member, because you know, I am a librarian. So like my job provides me with a stipend that pays for my membership fees. So a lot of times they'll do that. So when you become a physical therapist, you can talk to your employer about paying for your membership to a professional organization or occupational therapist. Okay. So any questions on this? All right, great. So again, I'm going to send this to you later with all the links. So just let me know. Now, on your employer resources, a lot of times, most people don't realize that most hospitals have libraries. So every time I tell anybody, they're like, really? They have libraries? Like, yeah, they have medical libraries. So if you work for a hospital or a clinic, you'll probably get access to a medical library, or you'll get access to their databases or other kinds of online evidence and stuff like that. So just check with your supervisor or your HR department, human resources department, to see what you have access to. A lot of times you don't realize until you ask, oh, I have access to all of this cool stuff. Like, yeah, you have access because you need that for your work. So a lot of times it's better to ask. They also, your job also may provide access to medical libraries, or they just may provide reimbursements or stipends for journal articles or other research you do. Like our school provides a stipend, a set stipend for our teachers to purchase textbooks that they need just for, you know, practicing, like in the clinics or practicing stuff like that. So a lot of times they'll provide money just for that. So I would definitely check with your employer to make sure, you know, check with them, see, hey, what do you provide money for, or what do you provide reimbursement for, stuff like that. And of course, if you work for a university or college like ours, you would have access to our medical, you know, databases and, you know, our library services. Okay. So again, make sure to check with your employer because you may not realize how much you have access to until you ask, okay? Any questions on that? All right, great. All right, so SOAR at usa.edu is our institutional repository where we store most of our online content that we publish for our school. So we usually, you might want to consider publishing your classwork or your homework assignments or something like that on soar@usa.edu. And then your work will be viewable by anywhere in the world, including, you know, like Australia or Japan. We get a lot of hits from Japan, which is pretty cool, and China and all that stuff. So you can upload your dissertations or theses, any research assignments you did, your posters, educational posters. If you did any homework assignment and you were like, wow, this is so good, it should be published, you could publish that. Just remember that your work is going to be available through Google, which means that if anybody looks up your name, it's going to come up with your work. So make sure to have a teacher, you know, review it first. For myself, a lot of times I'll read my like paper that I just wrote 7 times and not realize I forget the word the or and or this. And then I'm like, how did I miss this? So it's good to have somebody else check over your work first. Make sure you didn't miss anything. And before you publish it and put it online for everybody to see, you know? So we always recommend having a teacher review your work first. Make sure it's you didn't miss anything, and then publish it online, okay? So please consider that when you're, you know, for our school to publish anywhere on SOAR that you want, and then everything will be viewable. And you can link it to your LinkedIn account. You could put it as a link to your, you know, resume, like, oh, I did this kind of work. Isn't that amazing? You know, kind of thing. So that's forever. It just stays as long as our school is open. You know, you'll have access to that. So anyway, it's pretty cool. So any questions on this? All right, great. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, book donations. So we get asked this question all the time. Do we accept book donations? Yes. So we accept book, journal donations, goniometers, stethoscopes, whatever you needed to do your classwork and stuff, like gate belts and things like that. We accept those as donations after you graduate. So let's say that you no longer need your textbooks and you weren't able to sell them for whatever reason. You could just donate them to us to get rid of them. We also accept manuals, kits, anything else. Like let's say you use something throughout just, you know, your entire degree. Like let's say you use a stethoscope and it's still in good condition, right? And you just want to get rid of it because you got this new one and you don't need the old one, right? And you don't want to like throw it away because it's still good and you kind of want to donate it. You can donate to us. We make all of our equipment available to everybody else in the school. So, you know, you may be responsible one day for saving another student's like butt, you know, when they like forget an assignment or they forget their stethoscope when they came in for a test, or, you know, we ran out of stethoscopes but yours is the last one and you managed to help a student with their assignment. So, you know, just consider us as an option if you want to donate, you know, to us. We're happy to take anything. We take anything in good condition or minor repair. Once we have access to it, we'll try to incorporate it into our library if we can. If not, if it's too damaged, we might have to get rid of it. Or if we have too much of one thing and we don't have space for it, we might donate it to one of our campuses because they may need it for their students. So that may happen. Okay, so any questions on this? And I have the policy at the bottom. I'm going to send you guys a link with the information so that if you want to read over our policy, but this is a summary of it, okay? Any questions on that? All right. Okay, so career services. So our career services department is headed by LaDonna Morris. She's great. She provides resume help and she provides access to Handshake. So if you're graduating, you should already have an email with a login for this. Handshake is a job database that allows you to look for jobs online. So LaDonna can help with your resume, and she's our resume expert. So I would just recommend contacting her to look over your resume, to make corrections. This is available for free to you as students, so and as alumni. So just email her, and she should be able to help you with that. Okay, she's a really great resource. All right. Okay, other job resources. If you want to work for our university, you can apply on our website or you can apply through Indeed. We also post positions there. you know, you can limit to just our university. You can limit to just our campus. You can limit to whatever you want. And just let us know if you have any problems with that. You should be able to find everything you need. You can also look on Indeed for other job positions because a lot of people post on there. So it's a good resource in case you're looking for employment. There should be a lot of positions available right now due to the pandemic. Like they're in desperate need of a lot of people. So I would recommend you use that just in case you need it, okay? All right. Resume builders. Okay, so if you don't want to start with LaDonna, you can do your own resume and then contact LaDonna to review your information. So there are a lot of free resume builders online. There's Google has a free one. Word, Microsoft Word has templates that you can use. Indeed, the website where we publish all of our jobs and stuff, they also have a create a resume builder. And of course, Resume Builder is actually a website where you could just create free resumes. This is all free. So any questions on this? All right, great. Proctoring. So of course, if you remember from the beginning, our libraries are closed right now due to the pandemic. But pre-pandemic, before the pandemic, and post-pandemic, after the pandemic, we provide proctoring services in the library. So this is a picture of my proctoring room in the library. I probably have the largest one in all the campuses, but we provide proctoring services. Remember to ask for 2 weeks in advance, and I can provide proctoring for a practice test if you need a structured practice test where I keep your stuff at the front. You go in with just your practice test and, you know, just do your practice exam, and then I let you know the time and stuff like that. We also do free certification exams. But that's all done through, that's decided by your exam administrator. So like, let's say you need to take an exam, right? And they said you could use a library. You can ask them if you can use our school library. And if they're okay with that, you know, because sometimes they think it's a conflict of interest because, you know, you're a former student of ours. But if they're okay with that, have them contact me or have them contact whichever campus you want to take the exam, and then try to set up at least 2 weeks in advance to make sure that there's space. And then we'll set up and do proctoring services. Like I proctored certification exams before for our alumni, and you know, we do it for free, and we're happy to help with anything we can. Okay, and you just let us know. Usually they mail us the exams. I distribute it according to their rules, and then you know, I mail the exams back to them. So that's usually how it works for certification exams. If you have any questions, please let me know afterwards. I'm happy to answer. And we also have a proctoring policy I attached at the bottom in case you have questions. Okay, so let me know. I'm happy to help. Okay, other free resources we provide on our website. This is the library website. Free resources on how to write case reports, how to do literature searches, qualitative versus quantitative, how to do a PICO search. If you need to make a presentation and you need links, you know, you could do it for free through PowerPoint. You could, if you lose access to PowerPoint, you can, there are a lot of free resources available. You can also use Google Data Studio, which is one of the new ones that just came out. So anyway, this is all available for free online. I'm going to send you the links right afterwards, okay? All right, and so in conclusion, everything I went over is on our alumni page. It's also in, you know, some of the stuff you have access to, like, I'm trying to think. I think it's Learning at USA and also Scholarly Skills Community. It should be on there too. And again, if you have any questions, I'm happy to help. And, you know, just let me know. I love answering questions. I love getting questions too. I don't know why people don't ask me questions. They're always like, no, I don't want to bother you. I'm like, I'm a librarian. I love that. Please ask me questions. So any questions on anything I went over? Okay, great. I'm going to email you my presentation. I'm going to stop the recording. I'm actually